Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. You all really seem to like the what is the best N64 game video I released last week. So it got me thinking about the N64 a little bit more. Now I owned one back in the day if you'd watched that video, and I played that thing to death. But one of the main pulls for that console was its multiplayer games. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to look at what were some of the best multiplayer games for the system, and I'm going to mix this up with not just only what I think of the game, but also maybe some personal stories of my own history. And I will be giving what I think is the best multiplayer game for the N64 at the end, as I do with other videos. But for this, apart from hearing what is your favourite multiplayer game for the N64, I want to hear your own history. I want to hear your own memories. So if you decide you want to actually start nailing on one of your friends in the comment section, do so, because I'm going to be doing it in this video. I'm going to be talking about my friends and my family and ripping them to pieces. So if you've got that inner hatred you want to bring out, put it in the comments below, because I do like having a chuckle at some of your comments. As always, if you do like this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more content, and hit that hype button if you listen to our mobile. It helps pushes us up towards 7,000 subscribers. Retro Wars is a weekly podcast, and this week we are listening to Alex Kidd in Shinobi World for the Master System, and we also have a $1 a month Patreon where you can find the link in the description below. Right, let's get into it, shall we? What is the best multiplayer game for the N64? Mario Kart 64. Now, I'm starting off with a strong one here. Now, I didn't mention this originally in my top games because I thought Diddy Kong Racing, its one-player mode, was better. However, I have to confess, the multiplayer for Mario Kart 64 remains one of the most iconic and defining features of the whole system. It was awesome. I wasn't too fond of the multiplayer system for Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, but when it came to the 64, oh my god, I absolutely love this. There are two ways we're going to look at this. First of all, the race tracks. The normal tracks where four of you can get on the track, and it's pretty much, self-explanatory. You race against each other, and whoever wins, wins. The funny memory I had about this game was when you went to Wario Stadium. Oh my god, if you played this game, you know exactly what I'm waiting for. And you'll have somebody who is winning the race, and they're about to jump over that jump, where if they get the jump wrong, they fall down below. I think they ended up like halfway back to the start again. So you can absolutely derail somebody's race, and it's when somebody had a lightning rod or a red shell or something, and they're just waiting for that person to take that leap of faith over there, and the person who's in the lead knows they're absolutely screwed. There is nothing they can do. They know my race is going to end here, and whoever has that item can just go heh and absolutely ruin their race, because once you've gone back down that hole, you're done. Your race is absolutely kaput, and there's nothing you can do. My god, the arguments me and my mates had over that. But the funniest bit about this game was the battle mode. Oh my god, the battle mode was so much fun. There were 4 different ones, races, but my favourite one was the block fort. Each of us would take up our own little fort. Neither of us wanted to move off our block. We were all quite consistent, and it was just bloody chaos. We'd be firing green shells into like literally the halls of death down below. But the best thing about this is once you ended up losing all 3 balloons, you became a Bob-omb, and that Bob-omb could still get involved in the race and just go after somebody. And then the argument started, no, don't go after me, go after him, he's got 3 balloons, I've only got 1. My word, the arguments we had, it was so much fun. Like, just that Bob-omb feature was enough to get the arguments going. I had so many hours. This was one of the consistent games I played at sleepovers. There was no, out of all these, this and probably the winner were the ones we played the most, and I'm pretty much sure it's the same for everybody else. WWF No Mercy. Now, No Mercy has been mentioned a lot. I put it up on the poll, and it got mentioned a lot for one of the best N64 games last week. And I have to admit, I don't have a big wrestling background when it comes to the video games. I love wrestling. I absolutely love wrestling. Like, I was a Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. I hate to admit I was a big Chris Benoit fan back in the day. And now I am a huge Drew McIntyre fan. Like, Drew McIntyre is my favourite. I still watch it to this day, and my daughter does as well. But when it came to the games, I didn't really have the fun because my mates weren't really into it. So we did play games like No Mercy, but it kind of didn't have the push that I wanted. So I put it on this list, not for so much, like, for my own personal tastes, but I know that everybody loved it. Like I said, we did play it a little bit. Not much, though. But being able to play as, some of the old classic wrestling, The Rock, Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, Jericho, Hardy Boys, all that. Brilliant, awesome. And you got to have the different sort of matches, like the Battle Royals were class. I used to love doing stuff like that, but again, it wasn't something my friends used to play. But as an objective fact, I can sit here and go, I understand the impact that No Mercy had for everybody. I understand everybody loved this game. Well, if you're into wrestling and you had good mates who were into wrestling as well, you played this game. It was part of it. And I know wrestling games have got a lot more better now, and I would love to see like a 40-man Royal Rumble, although saying that it's a 30-man Royal Rumble. You know what I'm on about. I'm not re-editing that. I just think that'd be awesome to have, like a 30-man Battle Royal. Probably someone could say, yes, that still happens now. I don't know. I haven't played a wrestling game for a long time. But I know when it comes to what is considered the best wrestling game of all time, WWF No Mercy is still talked about to this day. It is still pushed as the one. I know there's WCW vs NWO. I know that was one. I played that. My cousin had that. But I know it was WWF No Mercy was the one which everyone waited for. Let me know in the comments, these are the stories I want to hear. These are the adventures I want to hear with you and your friends. And you all can tell me all about it in the comments. And whether I should be going back and maybe doing an episode for the podcast. Mario Party. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, why am I talking about the second one? So, Mario Party, the first one, was the one I had the most experience with. I know Mario Party 2 is considered the more beloved one, but it was Mario Party 1 that I had the history for, that I played with my brothers, I played with my friends, and so I can talk about this from a personal view. Now, it was released in 1998, and it was kind of a bold experiment, and most of these games are with Nintendo, and essentially it's made a board game into a full-blown video experience, and Mario Party went really well, and look at it now, we're still getting Mario Party games to this day. You basically pick one of, is it 6 characters? Was it 6? I think it was. And you basically go off, and you can't use Toad. Toad was the one you couldn't use because he was like essentially the board master. And you went off and did your own thing. So I would either go for Mario or I'd go for Dazzle, just because of the stupid voice. And there'll be loads of mini games that were involved, and the whole point was you're trying to get loads of stars. That was the whole thing. You roll the dice, collect coins, get stars. The arguments used to come when you could start stealing stars. The arguments were going, don't steal my stars, you steal his stars, they're the ones you need to go. Now, the mini games were fun as well. Like, there were so many different ones where you could either pick on somebody or it came down to individual skill. Like, I used to love the ones where you had the drill, and you had to drill the design that was given to you on the floor, or you had to merge the face, and you had to move that around like the Super Mario 64 version. I don't know why I'm pinching my cheeks as if it was going to be there. And the reason this game became so infamous was because of the stick spinning games on the analog, where people would rotate the analog stick on the middle of their palms and essentially rip a blister in their hand, which basically Nintendo had to reissue a protective glove. Now, I never got the protective glove. I didn't even know that was a thing. However, I do know what the blister was, and I imagine everyone in the chat knows what the blister was. Now, you're going to have to remind me, people. Let me know in the comments, because I can't remember this. However, you think the blister was bad on the palm. I can up that. There was a particular game where you had to mash the C buttons. I think it was the up and the left C button. Again, you're going to have to come and let me know. And you'd mash them as quick as you could, like left up, left off, left off. I think it was something like that. And I decided to try and go a bit faster. So I got my knuckles, imagine getting your 2 knuckles by your thumb and rubbing it against the buttons as fast as I could. Oh no, I ripped the skin off my knuckles so quickly, there was blood on the control. Literally, I had sacrificed my blood to the N64 gods. It was horrific. My mum was horrified because the adrenaline had kicked in and I wanted to do the game. Needless to say, when it came to playing a multiplayer, that wasn't on the cards. Yes, so we managed to stave off that and no one else got injured like how I did. But either way, like Mario Kart, my god, there's stories we can have, and it kicked off a legacy, it kicked off potential lawsuits, and I gotta say, I love this game. Snowboard Kids. Now, why are we talking about Snowboard Kids? You could probably say there are much better multiplayer games on the console, and I would say I agree with that. However, Snowboard Kids has a good place in my heart. Again, it was one of those games I played with my mates and my brother heavily when it came to sleepovers. For those who've not played it, it is a snowboarding game plus Mario Kart, where the premise is pretty simple. You basically race from top to bottom over 3 laps often, and it has the Mario Kart elements of collecting items, boosts, attacks, and stuff like that. The main thing that I want to talk about when it came to this game is, like Mario Kart, Diddy Kong races, no one could have the same racer. and each driver, or each snowboarder, had their own particular stats. So we would make sure that Shinobin, who was essentially the secret character, was banned because he had the best stats of everyone. You weren't allowed to use that. He was off the table. The stupid thing me and my friends had, and again, this is my personal memories, was that when you picked a character and you picked a snowboard, the voiceover would do the voice for it. And all my mate would constantly do Tom, and I'm going to start naming people. He would literally go back and forth, picking the snowboard, just so it went all around, all. So that's all you'd hear. And we're like, you ready to go? Yep, no, all around. For fuck's sake, pick it. Pick all around. That's all you would hear for ages. And then the other thing which used to wind everyone up about this game, like you could be absolutely winning this. You could be going down the slope and you literally getting to the end of the first lap. Now, if you've not played this game, to go to the second lap, you have to go up the slalom lift or the little lift. You go boom, boom, and in you go. You can only do one at a time. And if you don't get there, or if you miss it by an inch, or if someone gets there before you and you try and hit it afterwards, the animation would block you and you'd bounce off. So you could literally go from first to last in a matter of a second, and there is fuck all you can do about it but sit there and just get angry. Like when you're absolutely dominating and then to go from first to fourth because of a stupid ladder thing. Oh my god, the arguments that you'd used to have. Like, I loved this game. It was absolutely awesome. Like, I never played the second one, which is a shame. I can now, due to the power of my consoles getting sick and they somehow appearing. But I loved this one. Again, it was up there with Mario Kart 64. It's up there with Diddy Kong Racing. And I would put this higher than Diddy Kong Racing's multiplayer. People could argue about that in the comments below, and I will hear it. But for me, the arguments we used to have and the stupid all-around thing was the reason for it. Mario Golf. Released in '99, it brought a refreshing twist to both sports and multiplayer games. Now, I know Mario has been in a golf game, Golf, on the Game Boy, but I hadn't played that. So for me, when I saw Mario Golf, I was really interested. I wasn't massively into golf as a kid. I am now. I'm crap playing it, but I love watching it. I love watching when all the majors are on. But I've never been a big PGA, like Tiger Woods PGA fan. When it came to Mario Golf, it just seemed a more cartoony, fun way to get into it. And what was fun about this game was that you could have 4 players. Yes, every player would have to take their turn, and you go stroke by stroke, which was fine. But we played the main game, which was fine. What we used to do is love playing the mini golf. The mini golf was so fun. Because you just, you just tap it, and then we just go smash, and the ball would just bounce everywhere, watch the chaos, and it would just be stupidity. We'd never try and play it properly. And then when you try and then you've got Mario hitting it, and then all of a sudden Bowser fucking comes and just clubs it. It's just stupidity. But I think the moment that I have this game so much is, whilst you can give each other shit normally and just chirp, it was the fact that as you're about to go up, so Mario's about to tee off, you could actually taunt. You had a chirp button, and all of a sudden you hear Yoshi just doing his little noise, or like Wario or someone just giving shit, and you'd be like, shut up, and like, as you're about to do it, your mates are just pressing the button, and it's just it's just stupid. It'd be like, imagine if Tiger Woods is about to suddenly tee off and Rory McIlroy's just going the whole time, and then you've just got everyone else just absolutely chirping him the whole way. It was great. Like, you're trying to do it, you have to win the game, like, oh, it's a 10th putt. Is this the 2-foot putt? The green's looking straight, and then suddenly Yoshi goes, that's as loud as he could. It's stupid, I know. And I never went on to go play the other Mario Golf games. I've got Mario Golf Toadstool Cup or Toadstool Tour. I have that for the GameCube. I actually have a physical copy of that. And I know there's been ones for the Nintendo Switch. And one day we'll go back to those. But I even know when I want to play them, it's never going to have the same magic because I'm never going to play the multiplayer as I did as a kid. And again, this was an amazing thing for me, and I loved it so much, and my friends. Super Smash Brothers. Now, I'm going to put a little message here. A lot of people in the best video did last week, and you should go watch that if you haven't seen it previously, mention this, and they did. And I sat there and went, you dick, because Super Smash Brothers would have made that list. 100% Smash Brothers would have made that top 7 list. There's no denying that. I don't know. I think Perfect Dark or even Diddy Kong Racing would have got the chop, I think, if we're going to be looking at top 7. Because for me, Super Smash Bros. Was one of my favourite games I ever played. I was one of the only people I knew who actually owned this game. But the amount of hours I played, mainly with my brother's friends we had, was absolutely stupid. It was insane. We played this for hours. And the idea of Super Smash Bros., and I couldn't talk about the single player, I could, but I'm not going to, because it's a multiplayer thing. This game shouldn't have worked. This was a complete experiment. I said Mario Golf was an experiment. This, my God, or Mario Party was an experiment. This is the big one. Literally putting 8 characters, soon 12, when you mention who the fuck is Ness, you put them all together and have them in a death match. And it was amazing. Seeing Link and Mario fight Pikachu and Donkey Kong was absolutely chaos. And the thing is, it was accessible for everyone. Whereas fighting games can be quite complex, like I'm a big lover of Street Fighter, big lover of Tekken, and they do have quite complex controls. Smash Brothers really doesn't. There's one button for a standard attack, one button for a special move, and then you've got your jump and shield. That's about it. And pretty much that. And there is depth, before anyone has a go at me, I know there's a lot of depth in between that, but just the basics, you can have fun. Like, I used to have those times when I'd be playing with my best friend Alan, who was the best man at my wedding, and he was such a bastard because he's not big into fighting games or anything like that, but all he did was he went Donkey Kong and just went ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. From the moment the guy said go, he would just do that down B, and that's him for the whole match. He didn't do anything else but down B, and he thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And he's sitting there pissing himself laughing. I'm like, Al, I'm just going to absolutely annihilate you. And he's like, I don't care. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. And that was him for the whole, however long a match was. For as long as we ever played this game, it's all he did. And I'm like, fine. Again, this is the same thing with my other friend Tom. Whenever we played Tekken, all he would do is just do kick, 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 kick. He would just press kick, right-legged kick, and that's all he would do. The same move, and he just thinks it's hilarious, and he still won't do that now. Whenever I've played Tekken with him in the past, and again recently, a few years ago, he would just go kick, 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 kick. And I should actually point out, I am quite liberal with my conversation today. This is how it is on the podcast. I'm far more liberal than in a script than I am with when it comes to the YouTube video. I am far more liberal with my conversation when it comes to all these things, just because my mind goes off in several directions, so just get used to it. But when it came to the Smash Brothers, is the fact that you could have these matches, it could be 2v2, one all for all, you could have 3v1, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good, and I was so good at this game. This is one of the only games I would consider I was world class at. I put myself as world class in N64 Smash Brothers, and I know it's a bold statement, and then Pokemon Black and White, I was world class at, and before anyone argues, I will fight you. I was world class, and I recently played last year. I played World's Players. What was it, Scarlet? Yeah, in Scarlet and Violet, I played World's Players with a team I just rented. 2 World Players. I'll reiterating this, and I beat them. And I beat one, lost to one just, and they were World's competitors, and I rented a team that day. So I know what I'm doing with Pokemon. So shut up. And if anyone's saying, why do I say shut up to my audience? Because I do. Because I'm an idiot. Leave me alone. So I was god at Pikachu. So much so, I would fight my mates. I'd have Craig and his Luigi because he'd thinking he's really good. My brother would use Link. Don't give a shit about you. Who else was there? There was Sean with, I don't know, I'm mentioning names here, with his fox, thinking he was good. I couldn't remember who my mate Mike had. I really can't remember. I don't know if it was Captain Falcon, just so he could do the move when it said show me your moves, and for years we thought that said show me your boobs. Yes, we're immature, leave me alone. And I used to beat 3-on-1. I would batter them all. Absolute stupidity. But the one person I used to hate fighting more than anything, again, was Tom. I keep mentioning this guy, because he used to use Kirby. And he knew exactly what he was going to do with Kirby. And all he would do, and Kirby players will come to this conclusion, they know exactly what I'm going to say. He would stand next to the edge and literally wait. And he would wait for me to get anywhere near him, and then he would suck me off. NANI? And then he would literally either self-sacrifice, because he could with Kirby, and send me to my doom. And literally, if he's one up on me on lives, I've lost, because he would just do that the whole time. Or he would literally bounce me out to the edge of the arena and spit me out, not even say thank you, and then kill me. And I used to fucking hate playing him. He was an absolute bastard. I fucking hate Kirby. But then it came to the next Smash Brothers on the GameCube, and Pikachu was absolutely nerfed. Like, nobody could touch Pikachu. He was so broken in the original game. So broken. He was like a Jedi. You could not touch him because of that. The electricity move, his up B, was too good. They absolutely nerfed it. Fucking damn you, Nintendo. It's no fun. But the other good thing was that the items could make it fun. So when you see professional Smash Brothers games, they don't have any items. They do it in such a way that it's just one-on-one. We used to love having the items. So you could either have everyone with hammers and it was just chaos. You could have everyone just throwing Pokeballs. That was funny. when all that was being released was Pokeballs, and so everyone's throwing Pokeballs left, right, center. There's Pokemon coming out left, right, center, and the game cannot fucking handle it because Beedrill's flying everywhere. There's suddenly a Snorlax comes over the screen. It was just stupidity, but the laughs we had playing it. And I can understand why, when Sakurai did this game became so influential. And I have kept saying about sort of Smash Bros. Ultimate, do not make a new Smash Bros., just make Ultimate, just add more characters. Add more stages, add more characters, and don't change it. Like, I don't want to see a switch to new version like a Mario Kart World. I don't want to see that for Smash Bros. Ultimate. All I want to see is, for Smash Bros. I just want to see a Smash Bros. Ultimate with just updated characters. I've said the same about Mario Kart 8 and World. I would have rather just had Mario Kart 8 with more characters, more tracks. That's what I would have had, because people don't like World. It doesn't look like... This is my own personal thoughts. I'm going on a tangent. But Smash Bros. Was so much fun. So much more fun. And it seems odd that it's not number one, and you could probably work out what number one is going to be. But it's because of the fun we used to have. And again, I used to play that with it was mainly with my brother's friends. It wasn't with my friends, apart from Tom and Al. But Al wasn't a big player, Tom wasn't. And I'm going on a tangent, leave me alone. But mainly Smash Brothers was the thing with my brother and his friends, and that's why we used to play it. Now, if you're going to ask me for 3 more notable mentions, probably to take it to a top 10, I'd probably say Perfect Dark, Diddy Kong Racing, and Conker's Bad Fur Day. But again, as I said, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think would be up there? Let me know your thoughts, your stories, because it's all good fun. Right, let's get into number 1, shall we? And we all know where it's going to be. GoldenEye 007. When this game came out, it didn't just revolutionize the first person, it absolutely changed how we all thought about multiplayer gaming. How many people will say they had arguments over this? We said, don't look at my screen, he's screen splicing, he's screen viewing, he's screen sniping, that's the phrase, sorry. How many people did we all know who would say that phrase? This was an absolute favourite of 3 of my best mates, Rob, Tom, and Al. We would play this for goddamn hours. Everyone had their own rules. You weren't allowed Oddjob, he was banned because of his height. He was so small, he was an absolute pain in the arse. And because there were so many different ways you could play the game, you could play License to Kill, which meant you died in one hit. You had all the different weapons, you had all the first to so many kills. You could have basically 1 kill and you're gone. It could have been you play for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long. You all had your different stages, facility, temple, complex, archives. That's just a few, but you all had your different combinations. You could have had it. I've seen people, their favourite way of playing it was License to Kill, slaps only. They're all sort of different ways. For me, my best way of playing the game with my friends, with the 3 of my mates, was License to Kill, first to 20 kills, double grenade launchers, facility. That was our level, that's what we did, and it was just stupidity. All you could see was just grenade launchers flying everywhere, and because it was License to Kill, you're more likely going to hit yourself, so trying to get to 20 kills, because if you kill yourself, you lose a kill, it went on for ages. But my god, the fun we had. And if we ever had an experience or a time where it looks like you're in trouble, we'd always have one of my friends, Tom. It's always him. He would literally point to the floor and then just scream like he's freaking Raiden from Mortal Kombat, and then just self-sacrifice. Just take him and everyone else out, and we would just piss ourselves laughing because of the stupidity. And let's all be honest now, if we had this scenario again, we all know what we all probably would be shouting if we're going to be doing a self-sacrifice. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have South Park to tell us what it was back then. I don't know if I could say it on the internet. I don't know if I could say it on YouTube. I'll probably get demonic. We all know what it is. I don't think I can say it. What phrase would it be to self-sacrifice yourself?
It's Pikachu!
It's Clefairy!
Fuck!
Yeah. Don't think I could say it. But the other stupid thing we used to do when we were bored, I don't know why we did this, it was ridiculous for the N64 in its time. We would use remote mines, and so we would literally just spend 20 minutes, however long, throwing remote mines and all over the place. Just all we do, remote mines, how many can we do? And then we'd all do 3, 2, 1, boom, and we just let them go at the same time and just watch the N64 cry. Watch the frame rate melt the console itself going, Kill me now. I can't do this. For some reason, it was just the stupidest thing. We had children. It was hilarious. And I miss couch co-op just in general. I don't think we're ever going to get those moments again. I know there is online gaming, we know we have this, but I will never have those moments again that I did as a kid. Even as adults now, I don't think I'm ever going to have that unless I can really get the people I want with the alcohol I need to recreate those moments, and also TVs as well, because modern day TVs do not like older consoles. But again, this was my memory, and maybe this is just me spilling everything of my history and just letting it all come to the front. But for me, I want to hear what you guys want. What are your thoughts? What are your memories? And let me know, are these stupid memories? Are these stupid games that I'm putting forward? And as always, I'll be back in a few more days, probably on Friday, with a new video. I'm going to try and do a bit more structure where I do one video on Monday, DLC Patreon on Tuesday, podcast Thursday, and second YouTube video on Friday, just to give myself a little bit more structure. And you let me all know how you think. But until then, my name's been Danny. I'll see you all in a few days.